Good morning. It is February and we have got some farm work to do. I want to do some cultivating on those new fields that I plowed, and I think I need to fertilize all the fields just to make sure everything is good to go when we plant. Let's check out what do I have here. Not a lot of fertilizer. So, I think I'm probably going to need to pick up another bag. I'm pretty sure this one's mostly empty. And what else? Looks like I need to shift a load of eggs here. Maybe... Oh, I need to get some of these tomatoes into the sheep again. Maybe I'll take some into the restaurant. They're going through a lot of fresh produce this time of year. I need to get this honey shifted. I did sell, or I paid $5,000 on my loan last month. So my loan is down to $10,000. And, oh, Lukas is fine. I want to wring his neck, but he's fine. I will tell you more about that. I have uncovered basically what happened, and it's about what you might expect. But there's farm work to be done. Actually, I'll just hop in the tractor and start shifting stuff while I tell you about that, I guess. No reason to sit around. Alright, we'll do that. Yeah, so Lukas is okay. Let's get in here and get this started up. Lukas is okay. He is the one who flipped the side-by-side. I have recovered it. It wasn't too bad. I actually took this little electric, it was over there already, in the other chirp to move around lime. And so sorry, it's hard to concentrate on work and talking at the same time. No, this attachment thing is not going down. That's weird. Do I not have the hydraulic hooked up properly? Everything looks okay. I can't get this pallet fork to lower all the way down. I'm trying to shift it, and the tractor, the weight sort of shifts on it like it's trying to move, but it's not moving. I think something is blocked up in here. Alright, you know what? I'll bring you back in a little bit. I apparently need to investigate what's going on here. I did use this pellet fork and my other tractor in a chain to flip the side-by-side back over, and it seemed fine, but maybe I actually damaged this? Maybe that was too much for the system or something. I'll get back to you after I investigate what's going on with this thing. Okay, well that was one of those totally stupid things. I had accidentally toggled the switch for the hydraulics to control the rear weight instead of the front attachment. So my rear weight was raising and lowering instead of raising and lowering this pallet attachment. Whatever. It happens sometimes. I maybe didn't get quite enough sleep last night and am a little bit coffee deprived. Although, fortunately, the light is better. We're getting back into the days are getting a little longer again. So that's nice. I don't really like getting up and starting work in the dark. Good morning, sheep. Let's bring you some food in here. Get this unloaded. Alright, I will get this shifted into their troughs and then come back and tell you about what was going on with Lukas. Back in a bit. Okay, I got the lettuce, or actually lettuce and tomato. I ended up giving a lot of that to the sheep, into the sheep, and I moved some of the wool over here from the other end of the building, and I got this honey in here. I was just doing some math. This is harder math. This is easier math. I'll do this math first. So I've got 5 full pallets of wool right now, and each one of these is 1,000 liters. When the time comes to sell this in April, that's going to be around $3,500 per pallet. So I think I'm sitting on like $15,000 worth of wool right now, and I think I'll have at least one more pallet before then. So yeah, close to $20,000 in wool, I think, which is a big improvement over last year. And then the time will be best to sell this honey next month. I've got, what, 3, 6, 9, 10 pallets right now. Basically every stack of 3, it's like 2.5, is 1,000 liters of honey. And that is around $3,300 for every 1,000 liters. So I've got over $10,000 in honey sitting here. Each of these stacks is probably about $3,500. Each of these stacks of 3. And I'll probably have another pallet by next month. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have around between $25,000 and $30,000 to sell in March and April, which again, like even assuming I don't bring in any income from booking agro-tourism experiences on my new terp, that will still be more than enough to pay off the remaining $10,000 of the loan. It would be a tight year for me to get through the whole rest of the year on another, what, 28,000 plus what I've got now. Like 42,000 minus 10,000, so around $30,000. $30,000 is probably not enough to last me the whole year, but I do think I will bring in more money on the agritourism stuff. Assuming everything works out, my introductory price, which is a bit lower, I'm sort of trying to figure out what I can afford to charge for that, is going to be around $3,000 a month based on the amount of bookings I'm expecting. So that would be basically doubling my income for the year. If I can get $3,000 a month, my monthly expenses to maintain insurance and pay property taxes and pay for my utilities and stuff are right now around $600 a month. So that would be more than enough money. I think I'm good. I think my money being tight days are probably behind me. But, you know, you never know what happens, and I'm probably going to buy more equipment at some point. Let me bring some more hay to the sheep. So yeah, I think I'm in good shape, money-wise. Although it may not look like it right now. But in the next couple months, things should improve dramatically. I'll give you some more hay. And, Lukas. Lukas is still working for me. We had a little heart-to-heart about what happened. I'll give you some of the details in just a sec. Let's get maybe some grass in here. Hey, sheep. Mix it up for them. Hungry, hungry sheep. I think that'll be enough for you for this month. Get nice, thick, woolly coats. Good job, everyone. Okay. So, Lukas. I'm not really sure what to say. Let me hop in here. We'll get shifted to get the fertilizer out and fill up the fertilizer spreader, I guess. he... I've talked about this before. It's not a surprise. Lukas is kind of an angry young man at the moment. I don't know how much of it is teenage angst. Certainly some of it is. But also there's an amount of... He's mad about his dad. Like, he talked about some of this with me. I'm going to get the fertilizer spreader attached to the tractor here. So I think I need to bring it in the other side because I've got it parked the other way. He's mad about his dad living off the island, essentially, and never being around. But also, he's mad because his dad makes it seem like living on the island isn't really worth doing. Like, he talks about how... Stu? Too far. Ah, we got it. Okay. I'll pull this out. I think it'll be easier to fill it outside. Alright, lower this down. Okay, get this filled up with fertilizer, see how much we've got. So, his dad kind of makes it seem like it's not worth living in the island. He has to go off the island to make enough money to support the family, but also talks about it in a really demeaning way, like, why would anybody want to live here? It's such a small life, yada, yada, yada. And Katrina grew up on the island, and she loves it here. She's perfectly happy to have her 2 jobs and raise her kids here and go to this tiny school, and she thinks it's really cozy and is happy about the experience they're having. So he's getting like a very different version of the story from her. And I think there's some amount of like, I'm a kid, I'm a young boy, I want to be like my dad. So he wants to sort of support his dad, support his belief, whatever, that living on the island is not ideal, etc., etc. Not quite high enough. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. Let's get this loaded in. Yeah. I've got more than I expected. That looks just about full to me. Alright, maybe I don't need to buy a new fertilizer. Okay. That would be nice. I'll just park this over here out of the way for now. Okay. Well, I'm going to take this across first to the other Hallig so that I don't miss the high tide and get stuck over there. Do the fertilizing in those other fields, and then we'll take it over to the new terp and get into fertilizing there and also cultivating those other fields. So yeah, Lukas has got some conflicting feelings about how his dad talks about living on the island and off the island and what the world is like versus what his mom says, and I am reading between the lines a little bit and realizing Lukas actually is more like his mom than his dad. He really likes it here and seems very content with the small life, but like content life, you know, that is possible here, but also feels like his dad would think less of him for it because of the way his dad talks about it, and like maybe he is less himself for wanting a small, simple life on the island. And that are a lot of complicated, big feelings for a young man who's also got a lot of hormones coursing through his body and is trying to figure out who he is. So he told me he's basically angry all the time and doesn't really know what to do with that. And he was racing around on the side-by-side because it helped him feel like an outlet for his anger in a way that wasn't really going to hurt anything. It's not like he was riding the horses too hard or something. And he accidentally flipped it. And I can totally understand that. It's a silly kid thing. I think he is unprepared for how well I can relate to him. I'm not a young boy with those concerns, but I have been angry basically every day since my wife died. So many things make me angry about that situation. Like the fact that the doctors couldn't do anything to help her. The fact that she eventually got so sick that she didn't want to have treatment anymore because it just hurt and it wasn't improving. And the fact that she left, like she died, and I'm still here, and I'm pissed about that. But I told him, being angry is an emotion. It's something that you experience, but experiences are changeable. Emotions are temporary. They come and they go. And you can be angry. You can experience that emotion, but not let it define you. Oh no, that's a lot of weeds. Oh, I don't like that. I don't really want to weed a field that I haven't planted yet, but that's a lot of weeds. Okay, well, I will get the fertilizer spread on this field and the other field, and then get back over to the other chirp. I'll do a little time lapse of me spreading this stuff. But yeah, I told him, like, you don't have to let this anger define you. And you don't have to let the way your dad talks about his life influence how you choose to live your life. Like, you are Lukas. You're not your dad. You're not your mom. You're just you. And you get to decide who that is. The anger doesn't have to control you. I know it's worse with the hormones making everything seem really dialed up to 11. But that will change too as he gets older. And yeah, I don't know if it helped or not, but I think it was nice for him to have someone to talk to who was not his parents and who understood what it's like to be angry. Because I think his mom is never angry, or if she is, she like bottles it down. Or it's like a flashpan type thing, I guess. Like, she gets angry at the kids sometimes, but that goes away very quickly because she loves them so much. I think he doesn't really know what to do with his anger, and I think the people here generally don't express their emotions verbally a lot. So I think it's probably hard for him to talk about these things. Or for people here to be equipped to talk about them with him because they don't really talk about emotions. I don't know. It's a lot of... it's a lot of emotions, really. But I'm not angry at him. I understand feeling that way. I'm glad he wasn't hurt. I'm so relieved. Apparently he just got thrown clear, and it was on a grassy hillside, so he rolled a little bit. He got some bruises, but nothing bad. And we got the side-by-side flipped back over. There was some damage to it, and I do think it's important for him to understand that actions have consequences. It could have been way worse than it was, but I did take out of his pay the cost to replace some of the plastic body panels on the side-by-side that got damaged. And he and I worked together with our neighbor, who is very handy, who helps out in the shop, to paint some stuff that got scratched up and to go over everything, make sure There were no fluids where there weren't supposed to be any fluids because it was upside down. We checked all the filters, replaced the air filter just in case, and everything seems fine. It's running fine. So, no harm, no foul. He put in some hours fixing it up. He lost some money out of his pay to replace the body panels. He got a good lesson in responsibility. I don't think he's going to do that again. I do wish there was more I could do to help him. He doesn't know what to do with all that anger, and talking through some of it with me, I'm sure, helped him put words to what he was experiencing, but I still think he just doesn't know what to do with it. So, I don't know. I'm going to think about whether there's something else, something extra I can do. He's a good kid. In spite of myself, I find myself caring about the people around me here on the Hallig. And, Katrina's really nice. I appreciate Lukas's help. I want to do more for him, if I can. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I will get into a time lapse and we'll spread some fertilizer on these fields and then get back across to the other chirp and get some field work done over there. I will catch you in a bit. Well, this is a complication. I was just realizing, as I was driving up the field with the fertilizer toward that other field that's got lime all over it, that, I don't know if I need to spread lime on this field. The field back there, I plowed and cultivated and spread lime on last year, I think. But this field, when I bought it from the farmer, it had been limed like a season or two prior, and that has been a few years now. So it might actually be time to lime this field, and I totally spaced it. I will head over to my turp after I do the fertilizer spreading, since I've already got the fertilizer loaded in here. I will bring back a soil sampling kit and try to figure out if I need lime on this soil. And if so, I might do some lime spreading over here off camera after I finish the fertilizer spreading. So that's interesting. I may have more work to do than I expected this month. Okay, now I've got the fertilizer spread on all of the fields over here. They're double fertilized. Well, everything is fertilized. I think I still have almost half the fertilizer left, so that stuff goes way farther than lime. Morning, horses. How you doing today? So, I need to get back over there to the other Hallig and check on the lime. But I'm already over here now, and I was planning to do the cultivating. So it's not even 9 o'clock. I should have time to do the cultivating and still get back over there to do lime spreading if I need to. I could just... What I think I'll do is just fill this up with lime and take it with me so that I have it handy if I need it. And then do the soil test, and then if I need to spread lime, I can do it right then. And if I don't, then I can just bring the lime back to my farm. I think that's the easiest way to do it, and that way I don't have to worry as many times about the back and forth thing with the high tide. So I'm going to get the John Deere out here and get the cultivator hooked up and get into another time lapse, I think, and do some cultivating. And then I probably will do the cultivating and then go spread the lime if I need it on that other field, and then come back here, maybe on the bicycle, to take the horses out because they haven't been exercised yet today. I think they're doing fine on food. Let's take a look real quick. Oh yeah, you got plenty. You good on water? Okay. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my order of operations now. So I'll get into a time lapse and do some cultivating, and then I think I'll deal with the lime off camera. So I will get into that. Well, that's 2 fields down, and I think I need to get this tractor serviced. Something isn't pulling quite right. So I think I'm going to cultivate this field and then take this tractor back to my farm, clean it up, and try to figure out what's going on. This was a big investment for something to be going bad already in 2 months, so I hope it's fine. We'll get it serviced. Driving a tractor around gives you a lot of time to think, and I was having a bit of a brainstorm while I was cultivating those other 2 fields, and realizing I know the ultimate grumpy boy. The farmer on the other Hallig, who sort of became my enemy, and maybe is now on his way to becoming maybe friend is too strong of a word, but no longer an enemy. Felix, that other farmer, whose kids left the island, he is the ultimate grumpy guy, and I think he's somebody who knows what to do with anger, or at the very least, could be a male role model for what it's like to stay on the island and live your life here and do something meaningful with it that doesn't make a ton of money necessarily, but just is important to the people here and to the people who use the things that he produces. So I don't know how he will feel about it, but I think when I take my tractor back over there to spread lime, I'm going to try to find Felix and see if he would take Lukas under his wing. Kind of like, maybe I can tell him that I have had Lukas starting to do some farm work with me, so maybe he can have Lukas learn how to, I don't know, work with cows, or maybe different types of equipment or something. Maybe that's how we can introduce the idea to Lukas, but I do think he needs like a male role model who can show him a different way of living life. Because what his dad has taught him is tearing him up inside. It is toxic for him. He needs to see there's another way. So I don't know if that's going to be a great idea or an awful one, but that is my plan. We'll see how Felix feels about it. I'll hop into a final time lapse and get this field cultivated, and I think I might stop recording there for a month. I've got other stuff to do, the lime and talking to Felix, and I've got to exercise the horses, and I just don't have as much time to record, it feels like. So yeah, I'll add this final time lapse in, and then I'll catch y'all next month.